Hello and welcome to Kodesh Intentions. Today we're going over Psalm 127 in the ESV. So let's get to it. Unless Yahuwah builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless Yahuwah watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep. I think a key word there is anxious, eating the bread of anxious toil. Anxiousness is the opposite of faith. Faith trusts, anxiousness fears. Faith over fear. So if you're doing things anxiously, you're building up your business, you're guarding your home, you're doing anything really. Are you trusting? Have you placed that anxiousness at the feet of Yahuwah? Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Yah should be a party in everything that we do. You build up your house, and that doesn't just mean building a house, because you build your house through having children. You expand your boundaries, you expand your household. Do not be anxious about anything. Eating the bread of anxious toil. No, he gives to his beloved sleep. Do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will wear, for Yahuwah knows that you need these things. Do not be anxious. Let us place our anxieties at his feet. Let us trust in him. Let the watchman trust in him. Let the builder trust in him. Let the worker trust in him. It is vain that you rise up early and go late to rest. Those extra hours, what do they do? What do they do for you if you're not trusting in him? What do they do? Trust in him, for he gives success. He is sovereign over all things. He is the sovereign ruler. He raises men up and he lowers men into the dust. He's the one to give success. He's the one to look to. It's not hustle hour after hour, anxiously toiling away for money. No, it's trusting in Yah to provide for you, trusting in him to provide for your needs. For he knows you need all of these things. Beloved, children are a heritage from Yahuwah, the fruit of the womb a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. He shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gate. Building up your house is building up your family. Children are not a detriment. They are not an encumbrance. They are not something to be looked down on. But blessed is the man who has a quiver full of them. We see throughout the scriptures this desire for children. Look at Hannah in 1 Samuel, who mourned over the fact that she was barren. And why was she barren? Because Yah willed that she should be barren. And then what happened? She prayed to him. She said, I will give you my son. I will dedicate him to you all of his life. And what happened? She had Samuel, one of the great prophets of Israel. And after Samuel, she was blessed with more children. Her joy overflowed. Why do we look at children today as a hassle? Why do we look at large families today and we judge them? We judge them. That's not biblical. That's not scriptural. Men in the past, families in the past wanted large families. It was looked at as a curse if you could not have children. Large families are a boon. They are a blessing. They're not a curse. It is only through lack of faith. And I know this is where you're going. Well, how can I provide for them? How can I provide for them? And I will say this, it is only through a lack of faith that those children are not provided for. It is only through a lack of faith, because he promises to provide for our needs. Would he let the little ones go hungry if we are truly trusting in him? Will he? My friends, let us return to the idea that having your quiver full, that having many children is a blessing. Let us look at them as a blessing, not as a burden. In times past, people would offer their children to fertility gods, so they could have more children. What? Children are a blessing. Children are the future. And it is our duty as believers to be fruitful and multiply, to have children, to fill our quiver if that is what Yahuwah wills, and to train them aright, to train them in the ways of righteousness, to train them to seek first the kingdom of Yah. Are we doing this? Are we? Satan has really got his hands in our system. It's hard for a mother to stay home and train those children, to raise those children with the way the economy's going, with the way income versus expenses has gone. You think that was an accident? It's no accident. It's a purposeful plan to get the mothers out of the home so that strangers raise the children. It's a shame. We really need to return to Christian communities. We need believing communities, believers employing other believers, believers helping and raising up the community, not just raising up themselves, not competing with their neighbors for who has nicer things, but loving each other as a community, building up each other as a community, returning to more patriarchal ways, returning to the ways of the fathers, the ancient paths. We need to join together to strengthen each other. We need to return to the ancient paths. Before we go, I'm going to read some other verses. I'm not going to put them on the screen, but I will tell you what they are so you can check if you want. Psalm 128:3. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your children will be like olive shoots around your table. Does that sound like a curse to you or a blessing? Genesis 16:10. The angel of Yahuwah also said to her, I will surely multiply your offspring so that they cannot be numbered for multitude. Does that sound like a curse? He gives the barren woman a home, making her the joyous mother of children. Praise Yahuwah. Psalm 113:9. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and ye shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Genesis 28:14. That's a deep verse, but for this topic, I just ask you, does that sound like a blessing or a curse? And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, our sister, may you become thousands of 10,000s, and may your offspring possess the gate of those who hate him. Genesis 24:60. There's a lot of prophetic significance to that. But again, is that a blessing or a curse? And this next verse, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. Not about this topic, but about anxieties. Casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Let us do that, friends. Let us cast all our anxieties on him. Let us not deal with it alone. We don't have to deal with it alone. Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. My friends, trust in Him to provide for your children and for your family. Do not limit yourself to 2 children. Do not limit your children. Trust in Him. Multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. Guys, I hope this was helpful. If this helped you at all, please leave me a like and a comment, and I'll see you next time. Blessings.